And let's roll.
Woo!
Hey everybody, welcome back to X's for Show, your premier media response show. I'm Nico, and you guys can find me at Nico Action, NICO-ACTION.
I'm TK. You can find me at TK Accidental.
And I'm Tori. You can find me online at SM Tori. That's Tori with an I.
Hey everyone, it's Jonah. You can follow me places at Teeth Jonah.
And I'm your producer, KEVO. You can find me at KEVO. Really make sure to like, subscribe, and comment so we know what you want us to cover in the future. But we're about halfway through Bracket 2 of All Stars 10. We got a lot of pink drama this week.
Ooh.
You know, one of the things that I love about the Orange team was that you could just kind of sit back and just go, oh, it's the Irene and Bosco show. Good time, good time. But this one was a little bit more cantankerous. And I do just want to say that I was a couple of things by this episode, but I was a little distracted while watching it because it was Pride in Philly, where we live part of the time with Jonah. And so we had a clacking good time.
Oh.
Mother Saphira, right? Having a great time. And it came with this amazing cock sheath. And it was just absolutely brilliant. Had a great time seeing her. She did stand up. Honey Davenport came out and danced. She did not do stand up. It was not funny. Eric Jaffe came out and was a little confusing, but funny. And so we had a good time. Pride was great. Love your gays. Love your local gays. Get gay local. Anybody want to add anything about local gays?
I am one.
Yeah, just that Pride.
Yeah.
Yay, Pride. Yay, Pride. Loving Pride. Glad we got to do Philly Pride. Looking forward to more Pride this month.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole lot of fun. I saw Crystal Envy shaking herself all over Asbury this weekend. She looked amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, we skipped out on Asbury at the last second and just really fucking love the shit out of the gayborhood and just be part of the Philly scene and just love it. And it was so good. And so, anyway, back to this show. Different kind of cunty bitches. I really, really like that this season is a dynamic. You never know where it's going to go. I will say, though, there is something about, there's something about this season that's bringing out a conversation in me that I'm really curious about your guys' thoughts on. Mistress keeps being like, it's just a game. But she's also like, I'm here to win the $200,000 because nobody's better than me. This isn't just a game, it's a crown. And if you come for it, I will mess you the fuck up. This is mine. And she is a little aggressive about it between her season, this season, online, interviews she's given. So the dichotomy of it's a game, he, and it's not a game, this is my reputation, are really at odds with each other this season. And I think nobody's playing it sillier than Jorgeous, who's like, girl, I don't even know how I'm here for a third time. Shit. And then on the other side of things, you've got Lydia, who's like, I never left. I'm just still here. It's been
There's
amazing.
just these fake four walls forever and nothing else.
It's a set broom.
And it's my life.
But you've also got Tina, who's here to be like, girls, I love to be family and sisters, and I'll kill you like I killed my real sister. And it is getting a little ferocious. This is some angry girls. Someone hit me. Ow. Sorry.
I mean, I have a lot of feelings about the insane, schoolyard bully stuff that Mistress is pulling on Tina right now. I mean, it is literally her coming in, bringing up bringing up this bad photo, trying to get under her skin, get her all riled up, being unable to clock her on the design challenge or on this runway, to be frankly. So having to kind of character assassinate her. And then instead of, I do sort of believe that she wanted Sugar and Spice to be her daughters, that she felt some kind of motherly feeling inside of her, inside those four pink walls. And then I think she just I think she literally saw that Tina and Lydia were getting too close, and she just went, Tina's not allowed to have anything. I will take your girl, nerdy boy, and I will have her for myself. And she wants to be with me anyway, because I am the juggernaut here. And then I'm going to screw over everybody else and make it so that the only way out is I have to be the absolute best. But I am the absolute best, so who cares? She is coming for every pinch of Tina. There's a moment when they are sitting down to start writing their roasts where Lydia like places herself down and there's an empty seat next to her, and then all of a sudden from like across the room as Tina like starts to go towards the table, like Mistress swoops in, thank you KEVO, and then Tina and Lydia are just, they literally shrug at each other and go, oh well, as Tina has to keep on walking. And I am just, I haven't seen this kind of stuff since high school like play rehearsal.
And the thing that
unreal.
The thing that worries me too is that Lydia is still young enough and vaguely naive enough that I feel like she's one of the people who could fall under the spell of MIB, where people seem to think, oh, well, I'm her friend. It won't happen to me because we're friends and she likes me. I loved Nicole calling her out on using the Brooks name like water and just passing it out wherever, because that's what she does. How many times she used the word daughter this episode was insane, because if I'm not going to win, then it's still going to be my win because you're my daughter. And yeah, just the supreme antics. It does border on actual psychological warfare in a way where I'm like, there's shade and there's the kind of shit that you saw on Unreal. And you have to be careful about which side of that line you're on.
I feel like one of the really big problems is villains don't exist in real life. Like that's not a thing. Like you might be a shitty person or somebody who does a lot of shitty things, but like Lex Luthor's not a real person.
Yeah. Life doesn't work in metaphors and
yeah, like, you know, even Saddam Hussein thought he was the hero of his own story. You know, there's no real, so like, yeah, you can go on reality TV and play a villain, but eventually you actually, something has to give. You either have to not be villainous, or I guess we just sort of hope you rot and go away. And unfortunately, it's kind of getting to the point, like, I get it. You know, we've had great villains, you know, your Gia Guns have been excellent villains and stirred the pot. But again, Gia gets on shows and is the hero of her own story, and you know, she might be delusional, there's a lot going on, but Gia herself, and other people might feel this way, puts out into the world that she feels like she has been a pioneer for the cause, and she feels very proud of herself for what she has done as a trans woman for Drag Race. And I'm not here to debate that, but I am here to, like, she is saying, like, this is the good that I've done, this is what I want to put out into the world, is this good. And Mistress seems to be quadrupling down every episode on, like, I don't want to do any good, I'm not nice. And sure, that's funny for the villain edit, but now, since she did it for a whole season of the show, and now, like, where I was really like, okay, now I'm it's not funny and I'm not rooting for you, because I've heard girls who were so much less one note get told by the Drag Race judges that they're one note, was when she was like, we could do this again to Nicole and Kerri. And she was not kidding. She was fully like, no, if we could absolutely do. And yeah, technically they could. And in terms of, like, this is a game, you got to strategize, that cuts two people out. Sure, totally. But it's also getting to the point where if it's all a game, if you're just the villain, you're sort of killing any vibe of that this is based on skill, can be based on skill, could be based on skill. So you're killing my vibe that this is a show for competitors. You are, frankly, she's also weakening on the I check all the boxes thing, which I noticed during this episode. She started to be like, who knows? The judges are just going to say what they say, and that's that. which was very different from last week's. I know I got everything right. I know I checked all the boxes. So she's flailing. She is villaining even harder. And I'm just like, you're so one note. I'm bored. And I actually don't know how I could, if I wanted to, convince anybody to root for you, because I haven't seen anything resembling kindness, heart, depth, emotion, even like kind of even desire. I mean, I know she wants to win this because she wants the money, but like, no
one is a drag community unto themselves. If you do this, who's going to want to work with you? Like,
I just don't see anything that says to me that she's not like villainous. And since, like I said, since that's not a real thing in real life, what do you have left? Like, what are you actually bringing to the table?
Jonah, I would love to know what you think about the villain. I think we all think is putting the male in Maleficent.
Ooh, Maleficent, good stripper name. So, one thing I want to know: we don't know Mistress as a person. We know her as people who are fans of a TV show and see her on TV. We don't know who this person actually is in real life.
Reach.
However, so this is only really judging what do we see on TV. How you present yourself is a way you present yourself, but it's not necessarily who you are 100% of the time. We don't want to presume that we know everything we know about who Mistress is in and out of drag as a person. This is frankly not true. On one hand, I do like that you have someone who is a little unabashedly about being like, no, I'm here to stir the pot. This is how I was raised. This is how I'm going to do it. And in a way, there are forms of entertainment that I do derive from that. On the other hand, well, it could be entertaining TV for a bit. You kind of have to look at this in a very interesting way of Drag Race is one of the only competitive TV shows where not only will fans potentially have the opportunity to meet you and see your shows, it's specifically, you're going to be working with all of these people throughout your entire career. This is what you do. You're going to be doing this after the show. People who go on Big Brother, who go on Survivor, some of them become professional game show people, or the challenge. But other times they go back to their day job, and that's just it. They're not interacting with the people they had fights with on TV ever again. They probably won't see them ever again. And so it is a very unique show in that regard, where the people showcasing these skills and talents will be working together after this. And there is something to be said that the way you're presenting yourself here, yes, you can win the crown, but is that the actual prize of Drag Race? Honestly, I don't really think the crown does too much for people. People are going to be beloved if they're beloved, and they're not going to be beloved if they're not beloved. That's just kind of how the fandom works. That's how the show works. The show can try their hardest to make people fan favorites. Sometimes it backfires on them. Sometimes it works. But nothing about actually getting the crown solidifies you really in your popularity. That's my hot take. I think people have plenty of people who they love as winners, but I think the people everybody who's won a crown on Drag Race is beloved if they are beloved, not because they won the crown. They've won for different reasons. So Mistress's game plan of going in and Mistress in a way is playing something like Survivor or Big Brother, but we come to expect backstabbing and sort of the schemery there because that's what it's built into the show. We don't want to see it here necessarily all the time because it feels a little weird. This is a show in a way about sisterhood, about drag, about the community, and to see someone play mind games, even though it's fairly warranted, do what you got to do to win, but just recognize it does reflect on you in certain ways, and at the end of the day, not everybody's going to buy into it. My last little one point is people who like Mistress love Mistress, and people who don't. If you don't like Mistress, you don't have to. Don't just go out of your way to say anything. And if you do love her, keep sending her love. She's talked about that. The people who do love her send her love all the time, and she does have an audience for that. But it's not. I'd be careful going on a show like Drag Race and doing the funny villainry acts that Mistress does, because the crown is a brand and you have to be cognizant that they might not want that for the brand of the crown.
You know, Jonah, you literally transformed the way I feel about this conversation, because you said we don't love winners because they have the crown. We love something else about them, and that they have the crown is just this beautiful note. And like, Tori, you brought up something to me privately just now that I'm gonna pitch to you on air, but like, I swear to God, you know, I don't ever think that I love her more. I mean, I love her the most as Mrs. Lovett, but I don't love her Evita more than I love her Mama Rose, because she had the Tony first. Like, Jonah, you literally changed the way I feel about art with that. Like, I need a minute.
Yeah, and like the thing is that for me, so what we're referring to, for those of you who are not up on your Broadway gossip this week, because everything's about to go nuclear this weekend, but Patti LuPone said some things that did not go well for her this time around, and I have often used Patti LuPone as when I'm describing the triangle of why you want to work with someone. You got to be punctual, you got to be good, you got to be nice. And she is punctual and good, and it makes up for the lack of nice. And people are like, well, we're willing to put up with it because it's Patti and she's very good at what she does. And I think that Mistress is kind of giving that as well. When we get to the point where it comes to bookings in the future, there are going to be people who book her because they want Mistress. They know she'll bring the people in. They know that she will bring you a good show. And then there are the people who are going to say, it's not worth the crazy. I know other people who can bring the noise, bring the funk, bring the show, bring the goods. And I'll be very interested to see what kind of occurs after this, because I also agree with Jonah here. She's saying it's time to crown a villain, but it doesn't feel to me like Drag Race is interested in catching all of the different personalities. They're interested in catching all the different facets of drag, maybe. But they are definitely not like, well, we need a sweetheart, we need a villain, we need a hometown girl, we need a glossy Hollywood, we need a Southern belle, we need.
Still have not crowned a big girl.
Lawrence Cheney would beg to differ.
Yeah.
And
I mean, not domestic, not domestic.
There's a lot of people who are like, Trixie Mattel is the big girl in this family, and I would just like, as a current big girl, I would like to throw everything off of this. But
that's how Rue feels. That's
Kimchi thought there were no big girls her season.
She's the bitch, not us.
So I feel like Jonah's completely correct. Like, the brand is a certain thing. It is about being someone who can go on Good Morning America when she wins. Maybe not in New York, but maybe in her like Cincinnati home location. Like, these are the things that we want, that the brand wants to see. And I don't think Mistress will provide them with that very well.
I think she'll do great on Oh Shit, It's Texas AM.
Right, like she's gonna go on to House of Villains. She's gonna go on to other things. She's gonna crush. She's going to be someone that we're talking about for the rest of forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. But
I think that Jonah brought up Big Brother and other places where that sort of behavior is applauded and appreciated, and there is a level to which that behavior works here. But she's now, and I guess because, everyone is always trying to evolve their brand, and she's becoming bigger and more villainous, but now she's kind of exceeded the level of villainy that we really do on a show like this, especially in this day and age. And if we ever do drag traitors, sure, that'd be great, but I don't think it is time to crown a villain. Maybe like a bad girl or a tough girl or stuff like that. But a villain,
and like, Andrew, you're rotted. I'm just letting you know. That text message, Andrew, you're rotted.
When you look at it, like, Bianca is not far off in a lot of ways.
Yes.
You know, she could be very harsh. She was really funny. She was a shitster, but I think in a very different way than Mistress, because I think she was constantly just like, I want to address nonsense. Like, I want to, like, if you guys are going to do nonsense, I'm going to reflect that back at you and ask you to justify it.
Right. But she's not out here being like, have you thought about this nonsense? Let me add some nonsense into your diet.
Yeah.
And ultimately she did have to, because there got to be a point in season 6 where she had not really been. I don't ever think she was mean. I thought she was, I thought she was very shady and really funny and always, busting balls, but I don't think she was ever like, I want to stir the pot. But there did get to be a point where she was like, I actually should be nice to somebody, like to show that side of myself and to reflect a little bit. And she was very sweet to adore. And I think even when she was really harsh with Trinity about what do you do successfully, she was trying to coax out of her, like, talk to me, like, you're clearly here for a reason, like, don't tell me what you can't do, because you can do stuff, so tell me what you can do. It was harsh, but it was very, very motherly. And she won. She won being as absolutely hateful as she was. And she won because she also showed that other side to herself. And I just don't, it's just impossible to imagine rooting for Mistress to go past a certain point without seeing another side to her. And she seems really focused on not showing another side to her. And I don't get me wrong, I also like people who call out reality TV show nonsense, like where they try and get you to be vulnerable, or maybe even, put you in a Blair St. Clair uncomfortable position of having to be extremely vulnerable in ways that aren't necessarily appropriate.
Throw Roxy under the bus.
But like her relationship to yes. It took me a second. Her relationship to Lydia, it does not feel like Bianca being kind to adore. No. It feels like I don't know. It doesn't feel especially kind.
It feels like, come here, little kids. I have cookies in the oven.
Yeah, I mean,
Andrew,
always have this stuff
rotted. Monsters.
This is what's been going on.
It. I don't control what goes on the screen.
And here I was just wondering that if we drew a sketch of Mistress and she was 90% bad, as she's been losing weight, does that mean the container spreads the villainy outwards, or like does it also?
This is the question.
Proportionate? What is it? What's going on?
Badness meter.
Mm-hmm.
But so okay, I do want to point out that she got what she wanted, guys.
We
just talked about her for 22 fucking minutes.
Sure. But
we got it out. We got out the poison.
But I don't think she's going to get what she wants, which is $200,000. So we can talk about her plenty, and I'm happy to, because she's worth talking about. So
and also it's also a very visible way of playing the game that people can point to and say, would this work for me out there? Do I agree with this? Does this change my feelings? Kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm very interested to see what happens next week, because I think the 4 girls are going to round robin. I don't think Tina and Lydia are going to try to leave Nicole and Kerri out with nothing.
I agree with that.
So I think they're going to round robin, which puts Lydia at 4 points and Tina at 3. And so then it becomes, there's a half point between those. So then Mistress has to win again, which is the plan. Or else she's screwed, because then the gals can gang up and pick a third and send them on their way.
What I need one of the girls who's clearly not in the winning undertakings to just sort of fuck shit up. I want Kerri to come out next week and be like, I'm going to go Luli you, and I'm going to squeaky Frome-ish you, and I just need Kerri to come out and be like, be trans, do crime. And I just need her to just be like, you fucked with the wrong woman. And
I feel like if somebody's going to do that, it's going to be Nicole Page Brooks from Atlanta, Georgia.
Nicole is so sensitive and fragile right now. You leave Nicole alone. She needs
No, I'm saying that really nice. I'm saying that encouragingly. I'm saying like she did not enjoy what happened to her last week, and I feel like if somebody was going to be like, no, you fuck me, I fuck you, it feels like it would be more Nicole. I was actually sort of shocked at how water off a duck's back about the whole thing Kerri Colby was. And Tori, you said something about like Mistress is playing like a memorable game, a game you can point to and be like, well, that's a game that's being played. And immediately my first thought was Kerri is not. I don't know. Kerri is not playing a game that I can point to and be like, well, she's doing it like this, for better and for worse. I think there's cool things about it. I think there's bad things about it. I think the way she came off was very dignified with the whole thing, with the point gate. But it also, I was just like, you don't want to make any more of a statement, girl. Like you don't have any rage. And by comparison, Nicole, at the very least, in terms of like character moments, if we're talking about somebody having a huge villain moment this episode, Nicole had a very anti-villain moment in a way that I really enjoyed. I liked that she just consistently said no to this. She consistently pointed out that this was just the shittiest thing.
Yeah.
And I especially loved it as a girl who is from so early in the show, because we pointed out, she's not used to the way things are now. And yet she is the first one being like, I'm sorry, I came back here and thought it was sisterhood. I guess not.
Yeah.
That was very interesting.
Isn't she the malicious gay faggotry we've been warning about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yet again, it got her.
We got her good. Got her
What we
good.
talk about with Nicole is Nicole packed the good drag that was clean and not at the wash, and she said, good enough, I'm here. Nicole brings that level of drag that is so refreshing because she is it. It does not matter what she looks like. This woman deserves the world. And the fact that Mother is sitting at 0 points is ageist, is locationist for someone from the South.
Mm-hmm.
I will make everything wrong. And it's the fact that, like, she is not afraid to go toe-to-toe with any of them. The way that she went off on Mistress, we talked about it a little bit before, but the way that she goes off on Mistress, she truly does have the it factor that makes her so exciting and enjoyable to watch and makes you want to root for her. I love that as long as she's been in the game, her style of drag is not bigger, glamorous, more is better in that way. She puts on what she wants to put on, and she looks damn good because she knows she's that woman. She's 100% pure estrogen. And like, I could not be happier that she's here, and I'm only upset that more than likely at this point, she's not going to make to the next part of the bracket.
Yeah.
And that's even part of where I find myself wondering about how some of these girls are paying the bills with this season a little bit. We had made a comment about dual challenges and what they represent, and like, I'm thinking a lot about duality and versatility of art lately. I don't ever want to make art that exists in one way in one place, right? And like, these girls are trying to do that. These girls want their art to exist in multiple planes and multiple spaces, and everything is a performance. They don't just get up there and fucking lip sync. They get up there and fucking lip sync and move so fucking hard they shake the stage, right? And so the challenges are trying to evolve to meet that. But can I tell you that this was not a rap and roast? This was a mediocre mid-ass lip sync to your own fucking diss track that was vaguely shit that all of the girls say, and it's not their fault. They were given an index card to write an essay. And like, that is just not how it works. You can't blame somebody for not using a black pen when you handed them a Ticonderoga #2.
And what's with all the front-loaded music, TK?
They were not given an index card, or they were given the index card at home, and we know this because Megami wrote Jorgeous's verse.
And that's how you win, folks.
Yeah. So cheers to Megami. You done it again. We love you so much. But that kind of it sort of speaks to your point. This was. I did think when we previewed the episode, or when we saw the preview for the episode, and it looked like it was going to be Wild 'N Out style, I was actually really excited for that there might be some stumbles and some pratfalls and some amateur stuff, because that's even fun on Wild 'N Out. Like when it's really good, but somebody is still young, and so they trip a little bit, but the verses, like the whatever, like the words are really good, or something about it is so good, but you can see that this is still a new medium to them. That's like where you see talent emerging, and like sometimes that happens on Drag Race where you're like, oh, this person didn't realize they were funny. And this Gottmik doing her first roast, being such a fashion queen and thinking that she just wasn't going to do very good, and like kind of realizing that she was funny and like putting out a signature style that she would grow into on Drag Race. I mean, like that can be really, really fun. And so that's what I thought we were going to get. These were all great. Like, I mean, they were perfectly fine. Yeah, unoriginal because it's the same insults for everybody. And like, you know, for as much as I've just hammered on Mistress, goddamn, to be a fat girl having to constantly be in roast situations, not even like you're insulted by the fat jokes, you're just bored. God, how fucking boring to sit through another one. Thank you so much for the waste of my time.
I just want to hop like one of the things that I definitely caught was that so Megami did assist Jorgeous, and like I only want to say assist because there's clearly shit that Mistress said here that happened on set. So I think true. Give it a chance to update their lyrics.
Yeah.
I mean, they had to. 2 people left.
Yeah. And so one of the reasons I want to just kind of clock that for a second is because Mary Duda, let's talk. The beat of this rap was so fucking lame. This was not good. Compare this to Princess Rap Battle, Epic Rap Battle History. I completely agree. As a white person, this did feel very like my family cookout.
Yeah. Remember that Andy Samberg SNL sketch that I love where he's basically Vanilla Ice and his raps are rap song, rapping song. Everybody's rapping at the rap song. That's kind of what this came down to. It's a rap battle even sounded like Vanessa Bayer.
I felt very Darian Lako Know She Better Don't at times, and that's not a way that people should feel outside of listening to Oh No She Better Don't, a good verse while driving through Darien Lake.
I mean, constantly cutting to just like random people breakdancing.
That was, I think, the reset. I think that was
I know. I get why they had to do it, but it made it worse.
If those men had been wearing less every time we cut back, I would have been more okay.
If there had been any sort of gag just to make it funny. Because Nico, you're 100% right. They did that to be able to reset, of course, and they should. They have to. My insult is not like, oh, you couldn't do it all in one, but like you got to find good things to cut to, like, or Rue, get your ass up and do something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, give us something to cut to. You don't even have to be in drag. Like, again, did that for Oh No She Better Don't. Like, let Michelle do something. We dunked her like 8 times last season. She can't get up there and do a dance. She can't do a little 2-step. Come on. I don't know.
She has the look from Murder on the Dance Floor.
Truly. Let Chapelle do something. Come on.
About as much as we can say.
This
also,
she's great.
Tina Burner.
Yeah, this was. I love the spirit of this challenge. I would love for them to revisit it. I just would like them to revisit it. I really rethink this, because I think this is something the girls can do. Again, I don't even necessarily mind that I don't mind that they got assistance. I don't mind that things were written ahead of time, but I don't know. There's got to be some way to make this a little more like, I trust all 6 of these girls to be able to do this a lot more off the cuff. I would not be disappointed to see them stumble a little bit, but to get to see a really organic version of this.
I honestly, I think I just would have preferred if they did the Canada versus the world, where it's just one-on-one. You just have to make jokes about one person. I think it would have just been a lot better and a lot easier. This rapping roast, like the roast, we've seen people do well in the roast before, so I'm not worried that they can do the roast, but rapping a specific skill, arguably, I thought the best rapper of the entire group was Kerri Nicole. I thought the way that she was able to flow and the way that she was able to say her rhymes and her entire verse, that was pretty spectacular. She just didn't really do the challenge, which is the only reason why I don't think she would have gotten the win. But had she like included a little more roasty things, I guess she was kind of roasting, but it wasn't as. We need a little
soft boil.
Yeah. I get what she's saying. She was trying to be a little more subtle and a little more nuanced with it, but that's not what a roast is. Like we are specifically combining a rap challenge and a roast. You do have to do the roast elements, which is you do direct jokes about someone. But I thought she had the best performance and the best like verse and lyrics. It just wasn't the best part of it. Just wasn't the best application of the challenge. But I think I'm a little I'm a little mad at Michelle because she's a little bit of the producer's mouthpiece right now, and normally sometimes she is, but saying to Tina, I couldn't understand your lyrics. That no, Tina did fine. We were able to understand her just clearly. Lydia, you look timid. Cut to Lydia looking completely normal and fine, like she's ready to do the challenge. Like they wanted to do these critiques, but did not have the actual footage or anything else. I would much rather this had been you all did amazing and we're splitting hairs. I get that they're trying to craft a narrative.
Yeah.
I get the top two was the top two. I'm not going to argue that they shouldn't have been the top two. I think this would have been a better episode to be like, you all did great. We're going to be splitting hairs to try to decide it.
It was particularly weird because the much cooler person on the judges panel then they cut to saying, "Oh, I understood you fine both times." So it just made Michelle, and then she made fun of Michelle for being old and having bad hearing, which, you know, whatever.
Was that the bit?
But I want to know if Michelle sat in Hamilton and went, I don't think this is very good. They're hitting too many words per minute.
Yeah, I mean, like,
This is unrealistic.
I agree that, like, Jonah going with the everybody did great, we're splitting hairs, because yet Tina and Lydia's flow being a bit more verbose, it just wasn't quite as, let's say, agile. That's it. That's the critique. That still puts you in the bottom two if everybody else doesn't get that critique. It's totally fine. You say, you know, for one thing, nobody's going home anyway, so it truly does not matter. But on top of that, some people have to be on top, some people have to be on the bottom. That would have been the simplest thing. But again, it made Michelle look worse and stupid, and it made the critiques look ridiculous when Chapelle was just like, no, you guys were all great. Like, here's great critiques for everybody. Michelle, you can't hear anything. Like, they shot themselves in the foot entirely. And I'm happy for it because it was funny, and it did kind of, I think it made us all be like, oh yeah, I felt the same way about Tina and Lydia. But it does just put us in that place of like, where's production at? What's going on here?
It made me feel the opposite. I actually didn't think they didn't sound agile. I thought that the other girls were very on the 1 and 3, and it made them sound like they knew how to do the beat. Like, I was kind of frustrated that Mistress, who rhymed Tranos with Thanos, was in the top 2. Because that is the same thing as rhyming Diva Las Vegas with Viva Las Vegas. It is the same thing as, like, because it is literally where Tranos comes from. Mm-hmm. It is just acknowledging half of a portmanteau in your rap. And, like, there was nothing Mistress said that I didn't think that I had heard her say that she was better than saying. And so, like, I specifically was so bothered by how the other girls, by taking their time, other than Kerri, who I thought hit a number of amazing words per minute, the other girls actually, I'm sorry, yeah, if you only say 8 words, I guess all 8 of them can sound really good, but it's a challenge to actually come up with material that I couldn't find by asking Chatty, my good friend, the AI bot, to tell me what to think. And when you have fewer words and you're only on the 1, 3, and 4, you can hit as many, words as you want. But I actually think that Tina and Lydia and Kerri really did something different by hitting more words per minute. I'm sorry that Michelle's ears are getting old. Maybe it's a few too many blowjobs on the turnpike. But the other thing of it is really, and I get to say that as having someone who had given blowjobs on the turnpike. But the other thing of it is there is an artistry to a rap battle. And it's like they didn't want a rap battle. They wanted a lip sync roast. And that's not a rap roast. And I think the girls that got praised for not doing the assignment.
I think as someone who, as I was watching it, was going, yeah, they're all doing good. I kept waiting for someone to do really bad, which I really need to start recognizing is actually my brain telling me everyone's doing very poorly and no one is doing well. I would have been far more interested if RuPaul just sat there and said, you know what? None of this was what we wanted. None of this was that good. We're not giving out points this week. You all have 1 point to distribute. Goodbye.
Season 14 Snatch Game?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I really agree. And I think the problem is that it never should have been a lip sync. It should have been live rapping. I know that's hard.
So
Sorry,
I thought it
you're on
was
TV.
live. I thought it was live, but we didn't get to hear the live. Like the room heard the live and we heard the audio track just over it.
I hope not, because sometimes it looked like Tina Burner was mouthing to herself, "What the fuck are my lyrics?" So I really hope not. Speaking of points, I love that you said points. I think that because Mistress and Jorgeous sat there, and I'm going to call her Jorgeous because this was her evil French doppelganger for a minute. Mistress and Jorgeous stole those points like fucking thieves in the night. I think Card Captor Sakura should have shown up with the Windy card to trap these bitches for their thievery in the night. This was nonsense, stealing those points. And so I think Rue was like, I saw how you guys got those points. You guys want to win? Here's how you're going to win. You're going to win the saddest, most incremental. She literally said, because like historically, like there's never been like a half point. Like this really felt like an insult. This really was Rue making a statement and telling Hollywood Jade, girl, I know how old your saggy ass is. And I don't know. This felt like Rue telling the audience what's up.
Yeah. This is also the point where I'm starting to feel like we've been given more hints as to how the semifinals are going to go than we think we have. I think that perfection critique that we sat through for Mistress, I think is going to come back in a very big way and is probably going to be extremely important to how these things are going to shake out.
So here's my
Ooh,
you got KEVO.
No, I'm just gonna say I really agree with you. I really think that this comes down to Rue saying, I set the tone, I set the drama, and so I am going to do something even more dramatic than what you just did. And hopefully that bodes well for whatever we have coming in the second round of this game. Because this has already been so weird and chaotic. I can't believe we are getting a Rusical as the finale for Bracket 2. And then seriously, guys, I'm almost genuinely asking what's even left for Bracket 3 and for Round 2.
I genuinely don't know how much there can be to Round 2 because I think it's going to be Snatch Game. I think we're going to get... but so every group has gotten 2 recordings.
Yes,
every group has gotten 2 singles
musics
to sell out of this, which I wonder if that's part of the deal. You come back and you get 2 singles listed on iTunes to make your monies with. And I think that's brilliant. I think the royalties are a gorgeous sell, but I'm okay. Mary, I'm super into you today. This I know we don't know, but girl, now we do. Snatch Game talent shows and Lollapalooza. Let me just say, I don't ever want an All-Stars talent show ever again because
especially this late.
Well, I love that, but like
I kind of like them at the end.
A talent show is about telling us where your talents are. Girl, if I don't know you're fucking talented by now, get off.
Maybe hidden talent show late.
Yeah,
I would love to
that's
do something
the thing.
surprising.
Yeah, then I want to find out that Jorgeous is secretly really good at laser tag and Mistress plays the recorder with her asshole. Like, it has to be a creative talent.
Yeah.
You mean it can't be a fireworks bra because you look cute that day?
Maybe it could be Katy Perry keeping a straight face with that choreography.
She doesn't have a gay face. So I think we're looking at probably another form of like girl group or like songstress kind of things. We could do, I don't want to do a Snatch Game Rusical again. But I guess we could do
Now.
like a herstory of the world thing
Stop
where
it.
we're doing the song as Princess Diana.
You're letting it happen. Fight it.
Hey, listen, if I speak it into the void, suddenly they're like, oh no, someone else thought of it. Never mind. And then
I would
move
also
on.
really love Madame Tussauds The Rusical, where it's just whoever the fuck they want, and they just walk into a fucking wax museum because all these girls look like beautiful wax figures anyway. That bitch is Ariana Grande. That bitch is mid Michelle Gellar. That bitch over there is Diana Ross with a new nose. It's
No
all
rhyme or
worth
reason.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm here for Madame Tussauds The Snatch Rusical. But I don't know. I think I'm kind of maybe relieved that the last group didn't get the Rusical.
Yeah. I don't, and like that's the thing is that I don't know if I would have given the Rusical to the first group either, or really the second one. I wouldn't say that there's a strong group for a Rusical. Like there's a strong group for a snatch game or for a roast. We were really looking forward to this roast, and it was fine. So
I'd love a crazy dance challenge for this last group. For Team Purple, like a really exciting dance challenge, something that really like oh man, that wonderful what was it? Season 7 had the dance challenge.
The thing is, I still
Season
can't.
7 had the combined dance genre challenge, the one where Pearl had to twerk and do the Charleston.
That'd be interesting.
Great challenge. And they also did a full dance challenge to room mixes on season 11. So it's not out of the realm for them to just do a straight up dance challenge.
yeah, there was like season 8 was the battling dancing groups as well.
The thing I just can't get past is we're not judging every bracket by the same criteria. I guess music is the only common criteria we have for the first 2 brackets so far.
It makes the people come together. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the Eurovision thing? Music unites us or something? Unless you don't live in Europe, then we're gonna country block all of our videos. Anyway.
Poor Australia.
What milkshake men we are.
We took a little left. I don't. Yeah, it's so difficult. Rusical's going to be so interesting. What did they say the theme was for this one again? Did they say, or were we just like we're having a Rusical? Oh no.
It's starring with Rue. I don't remember the theme. They did say it. I just don't remember it.
Oh, it's a sequel. It's something the sequel.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Well, while you're looking that up, Star Booth.
Star Booty.
Star Booty.
Star
Thank you.
Booty.
Star Booth. Let me tell you,
Booty, the
Mary, Star Booth is my new favorite diner. Shut the fuck up. But Star Booty, the thing that I sometimes think about is like, not enough people remember that Ghetto Superstar comes from Bulworth, and there is a serious value to how often we associate a great piece of music with something that has nothing to do with it. How many of you really think to yourself, wow, both Kiss from a Rose and Foolish Games really describe Batman? And
What movie?
That was
movie
just
was-
for you, my brother.
What movie was Kiss from a Rose in first?
Oh, yeah, no, my husband unleashed this fucking megalodon fact.
Never Ending Story 3, the one starring Jesse from Free Willy. It was in that movie before it was in Batman Forever. So
I bring this up because a lot of my favorite Rusical songs have nothing to do with their Rusical, and some of the best ones are from the ones that are not really Rusicals, but just kind of like, this is a story about a woman and everybody's playing Cher. So I kind of don't give a shit about what the Rusical is this time. Although thank you so much, Mary, for reminding us that it's the RuPaul movie Star Booty. Mary, I don't know who you are, but let me tell you, in our year of the Lord Pride, I am so excited that you're in our comment section tonight.
Hell yeah.
The fact that
Yeah.
Star Booty could be good because it's not a weird like
Yeah, it could just be cool songs. Exactly.
Yeah, it's not a musical that they've turned into a rusical and made it weird. It's not a celebrity's life where it's not that celebrity at all. It's just everybody playing. Yeah, it's just it's a RuPaul original that was already absurd. I actually am surprised it's taken them this long to do it. But yeah, this could be cute. And Kevo, thank you for reminding us all. We have discussed this, and wow, yeah, looking at this list, I mean, yeah, like even when, like, as Nico pointed out, like, even when some of them are good, like the music is good or the performances are good, or you're really proud of a girl, it's like, I'm thinking of like The Sound of Rusick had some good performances, but I hate that. I hate the idea that they did The Sound of Music as a rusical.
It was kind of Eurovision.
Yeah. Cher the Rusical was really weird, although again some people had good performances. I don't know, man. Yeah, like
I was going through with Kevo why this group is an interesting choice for the Rusical, because like Kerri and Nicole never got to the Rusical. Jorgeous was a bottom, but she won it in All Stars. Mistress was high, and Tina was low. And I went, why was Tina low? And then I went and looked it up, and I remembered, oh yeah, Social Media, the musical.
Malarkey. That's why Tina was
total malarkey. I was gonna say, why was Tina low? She did phenomenal, and then they were just like, you weren't any good.
You didn't look right.
It is one of the weirdest ones. She's like the only person. I shouldn't say she did phenomenal, but she's the only person who felt like she was committing and giving any energy to it. And sure, she didn't even be in the top, but the fact anyway. Yeah, so I don't know. Like when I look at this list and when I think about all the ones that I've seen, like Star Booty actually maybe is one that makes a lot of sense to do, and like my expectations are so low because I don't even know, like I have no expectation. Like how are you going to do that? There's nothing that I want from it except for it to be good and funny. Like I don't need it to do anything. I mean, actually now I'm kind of interested.
Honestly, it's like Jorgeous. I don't need her to do anything. I just need her to lay there.
God damn it, Nico.
Just stick the landing. That's all you got to do. Don't make it worse.
Also, for real, Mary, Tina, eat that rusical. Tina's got something that a lot of New York girls have that really is a spotlight try hard. There is something about her that no, it's like magic and special, because she gave her absolute best MC Light DeBrat Melanie Thornton this entire episode. The amount of stank leg, the amount of fucking big coat she did. Mama was just fucking destroying everything in such an old school way. She reads okay, there has never really been a rock musical. Shut up, I don't care. There has never really been a rock musical. Rent is sort of rock the way the Who's Tommy is rock. Stop that. You know what I mean? And so
yeah,
Tina is
just Rock of Ages erasure across the board.
Oh, you mean a musical that's basically
you.
produced
Rock
like
of
a Dr.
Ages.
Luke record? Got it.
Rock of Ages is rock the way a rusical would be rock. Here.
And I say that because Tina Burner, I can't believe you're putting this Rock of Ages sentence. Not my fault. Tina Burner is absolutely the Tommy, the Who's Tommy rock to this rap. You know what I mean? She's obviously not, but she gives such a performance and she creates such a character and she sinks into the role so effortlessly. I think she's someone for whom it's not about being in the rusical, it's about how the other girls see her in the rusical, because Tina came in with so much talent, but she came in at such a fragile moment in her life, and to find out that it has to do with such a real tragedy, it explains why there is such a try-hard element. I wonder if she's thinking she has just enough time for her mom to remember, and how much that is determining her psychological motive. I don't know that I've ever seen her more talented, and she is easily one of the top 10 girls from season to All-Stars turnaround in, like, you were already talented, and now you're, like, deforming the rules of talented. I really need the other girls to feed her the right energy next week, because Mistress, if she gets through, did not get through on her talent, which she could have. She's getting through on her country, which, frankly, I just want to remind you, Sweeney and Mrs. Lovett convinced themselves they were helping London with the meat pies too. So, Mistress, you can tell me that you feel proud behind that breastplate all you want, but we both know that you've been eaten alive by your own darkness. And so you can absolutely not win this season on talent at this point. You won it on point shenanigans. And you would not have wanted to lose to point shenanigans. You called out Lucy on less. So I need Tina to rock this rusical because she came with the right energy. I actually don't care if Mistress goes forward. She absolutely can, because trust me, I'm a gay bitch and I really appreciate the point shenanigans. There is something about a bitch that can get it over on me that just impresses me. But no, I really need Tina to pull it out.
Yeah, it's so funny because I'm like, I want an old bitch to make it through. And I know that Tina Burner is not, she's on the young side of old bitch.
No, she's an old bitch. It's fine.
She's an old bitch at heart. And I kind of want her to have this. I want her to push forward. If we're not gonna get like the gals from the single digit seasons to move through from the earlier ones, like I would like it to be Tina. I think at this point it's like Nicole and Kerri kind of can't move forward at this point unless some real nonsense happens in the rusical. And as much as I like Lydia, I'm kind of hoping that Tina's the third at this point.
Sometimes I just look at Lydia and I think to myself, Pinocchio, you should have asked to be a real boy, not for a real butthole. Oh,
I mean, this is the definition of little boy in drag. This is a lot.
He looks incredibly young.
Someone should tell Rue that Lydia changed her butthole to Brooks because Mistress asked her to, and see how RuPaul treats Mistress after that.
A week later, it'll be Lydia but Andre Charles Collins. Anyway, so Jonah but Andres Charles Peak, because your last name, as everyone knows, is Peak. This is All Stars 10. What was your first All Stars?
My first All Stars that I got to watch live was All Stars 2. I was last.
So you are 9 regular All Stars plus so many versus the worlds and global now. You basically have them All Stars to shop at, and we're just about halfway through this All Stars, and my big question for you as we kind of play this episode down and play it out is, how do you feel about the validity of lip syncs as they continue through this series? I think that the lip syncs have essentially become artifice, but I watched a lot at once, and that really deforms the experience. How do you feel about lip syncs, particularly giving 2 point manipulators half points?
One, I want to say this. They chose arguably one of the only Chapelle Roan songs I think would have made for a good lip sync. Unless they want to do a ballad, but if you're going to have Jorgeous lip sync, you're going to give her a number that she can actually dance to, because Rue loves Jorgeous, and this is also about showcasing the girls, so you're going to try to do that. Famously, this is not a Jan song.
Okay, that's an inside joke for the people.
They don't need to know any more than that.
You're not the only one who has to feel that way about it. Don't forget, it's okay. We love you, Jan.
My 2 cents is I've actually thought Jorgeous won this lip sync, even though it wasn't my favorite Jorgeous lip sync. Anyway, I also love that Rue said, "These are my rules. You're getting half a point." I really thought it was a bit. I thought she was doing a bit at first, and then it turned out that no, they actually didn't get a half a point. And Rue's like, "No, these are my rules. No. I get to decide things." But lip syncs are hit or miss. It's one of those things where it's not every single drag queen has to be able to be the best lip syncer. but on Drag Race they expect you to be. Not to say that any of these two girls or anybody else that we've seen have been horrible lip syncs, but sometimes the lip syncs can feel less exciting when when the girls don't always get to pick what they want to do. When you go see these girls perform, they get to choose their songs. They get to choose the numbers they get to do, and they're going to choose things that are in their repertoire. They don't get to choose these lip sync songs. And it sometimes can feel a little like, are there times where I know God is real and she's in the room with us? Yes. Shut Up and Drive, Alyssa versus Tatiana. God was in the room with us with that lip sync.
Yes.
That's how I know being gay is the correct choice. And she was with us. She was with us in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't here for this one.
Your girlfriend, she's upset.
It's really interesting that you say that, Jonah, because like it just struck me that like we could there could be a world where we use Lollapalooza rules for all the lip syncs in all the top 2 lip syncs in the All Stars, or even just top 1 of just saying you have won the thing, but you have to lip sync. You get to choose one of your cast members to come forward, and they choose a song, and y'all are about to lip sync. And if they win, they don't get the win, they don't get the badge, but they do get the money.
Interesting.
Let's see what happens.
I gotta be honest, dollars is what works for these girls. I've had the joy of in the last year seeing Megami, Plasma, and Saphira, all 3 of them, and having gotten to have unique experiences with each of them. And I still know at the end of the day, each one of those girls booked each one of those shows for the money, not to meet NICO. Listen, I know there will come a day when they are booking to meet NICO. ... If you know, you know. But the other side of it is, I think money is actually, I don't want to be mean. I know prestige is a big thing, but God, money is so much tastier. I can't spend
and it's
prestige.
very useful.
Yeah,
I heard.
money can buy
Score.
money can buy everything, so that happiness is the only thing left. Like,
Yeah.
it's great. Money plus time, that's a recipe to build anything.
I'm looking forward to being sad with money.
Yeah, can't wait to wipe my tears with those Benjamins.
Just get a nap in. Come on.
And that even brings us back full circle to our discussion of Mistress and her motives and the way that you play this game. And, that's part of it. That money is not a small sum. And that is, a lot. And it can really help your career. And it's not a cheap career. One of Saphira's jokes about the $200,000. Do you know how many wigs that is? We all shouted out 4. But,
She points out that would be 200,000 for Mona Lisa's wigs. So
Listen, this is a cheap Amazon wig. It still cost me $19.99.
Jonah, I really love how you set the stage for leaving, because we're all going to go. We're trying to recover from Pride. Some of us still have a blood alcohol content that makes driving questionable. So, Jonah, where can everybody find you online if they want to know all about you lip syncing? By the way, man, there are some amazing videos of you dancing at Woody's this weekend in your pink seersucker romper.
Oh my God, he dances like such a straight boy. It's so fucking cute.
Yeah.
You're like a frat boy.
He really puts the 10 in Staten Island.
Aw, we all deal with what we got to deal with.
No, it's like good straight guy. I mean, though, it's not like dorky. I mean, like it's hot straight guy, but it's straight guy.
Oh, it's the
He hasn't danced gay. He did. Yeah. But like more Staten, because he's Staten. It's like the Italian bumpin'. Like he could be on Jersey Shore.
It's t-shirt.
half of those people were from Staten Island.
Exactly. That's why. So yeah, where can they find you?
25%. 25% of the original cast.
Me and him.
If you want to see my thoughts or get to know me or talk to me, you can follow me places at peak Jonah, that's PEAK.
Oh man, I love that. Now, Tori, I don't want to ask you anything about the first season of All Stars you watched live. That's just terrible. It's terrible. But
It was last year's.
here's my real question for you: which of these girls do you want to see lip sync? Who of these 18 girls is like that's my girl? I want to see her live. I want to see that bitch shake it down.
See, it's really interesting. When I think about seeing drag queens, I don't think about seeing lip syncs, but I think that's because I'm Bianca Del Rio cursed in life. And so my brain just goes, oh, you want them to dance? Sure. I guess. Denali's great. I like what Denali's got going. Jorgeous makes me concerned for her future medical bills. Aja I wish I wasn't so white and awkward and would feel comfortable going to a Vogue hall to one of these nights, because I would love to see that kind of performance. So that, and I mean, if Bosco's doing anything, I'll be there. I'll be there just binoculars as quickly as possible. So that's who I would want to see lip sync. Goodness,
Aja is my number one on this.
Yeah,
on this board.
I like.
Jonah showed me the greatest video I've ever seen in my life of her duck walking into a teal tap into duck walking, and I'm shot.
Yeah, she's killer. She's killer, and I just don't know enough about the ballroom scene to be able to really, be like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. Of course, I want to go to there right away. So I hope for Aja to be my introduction to that brilliance more and more. Besides seeing Cats the Jellicle Ball, which, gosh, I hope other people get to see at some point. It was wonderful.
And I love that you said ballroom, because like I was gonna make a joke about it's just Ginger Rogers, but like the fact that queer ballroom is so important to how we have all become so fucking gay. None of us would be as gay as we are this Pride if it weren't for the ballroom scene making us queerer every minute. And you know what? I've made a lot of jokes about Olivia Lux mentions that she walks ball now, but if I fucking walked ball, I'd be that proud too. So, Tori, thanks for bringing it in, the noise and the funk. Who wants to tell Tori how right she is?
Thanks,
guys.
So right, girl. So right, so pretty. And I just want to be really clear. Part of why I don't do more Drag King shows is because you just fuck my shit with your drag. You are so beautiful. Speaking of Drag Kings, we are definitely going to watch the upcoming King of Drag.
I'm so amped. I'm like, if I had money, I'd be Patreoning the hell out of people about this.
I am so amped. I'm Spinal Tap on 11. By the way, I am definitely going to Spinal Tap in theaters in July. I'm not kidding. Spinal Tap, one of the best movies ever made in the history of the world.
I mean, if you ever want to feel good about yourself, you can go back to about a year ago on this stream, and you can enjoy Tori's first glances through drag and see what you think.
I still think it is spectacular, fabulous, and absolutely stunning. And if everybody wants to be as stunned as I get to be being your friend, where does everybody get to check you the fuck out?
You can find me online at SM Tori. That's Tori with an I.
So I had said a few minutes ago that Jonah was dancing at Woody's in a gorgeous pink seersucker romper. But KEVO was in a cerulean blue zip-up romper. Absolutely.
Looking like a janitor.
I really want to be clear. KEVO drank so much amaretto that his blood sugar levels are absolutely post-diabetic coma. And I'm so proud of him. But it has been an incredible Pride, KEVO. And as somebody who has had the pleasure of watching you just fag further and further into your faggotry in the last couple of years and seeing the drag race king you've become, I really am excited to continue this journey with you. And my question for you this season is, how much are you looking forward to the next team? You don't really get a lot of opportunity to become obsessed with the queens because most of your time is spent giving me attention. But when you have a little bit left, you get to shower it on these drama queens. And I know you're looking forward to Denali. I know you are looking forward to Alyssa Hunter. I know that you could pick Ginger Minge out of a police lineup. And so I really just would love to know how excited you are for the next bracket, because I know this bracket isn't your fucking favorite.
Cynthia. Oh, that's right. Hey, Cuckoo. The two Bettys. Let's hope they never address it once.
I think
let's leave it untouched right now. Wait, that's the Veronicas.
Seeing what the challenges are going to be, guys. What if there's no music challenges in this entire bracket? What will we even do? What if this is where Snatch Game is? And then
what if this is where we get the ball?
Oh my god. Ball. Oh, so many things to look forward to. Like you said, my crush on Alyssa Hunter. So that'll be good. We'll see who are meant to be the duds and who are meant to be the obvious moves onto round 2 soon enough. I'm excited that Pink is almost over. In some ways this feels like it's taken forever. In some ways, not so much. This is feeling like a really full season, and I appreciate that. And speaking of things that feel like they've taken forever, but I'm excited for, we have a lot of other cool things that we're looking forward to covering this summer, including Star Trek Strange New Worlds, which I just blew your mind with the fact that it's been 2 years since season 2. We were in a glut of Star Trek where we got the end of Picard, Strange New Worlds 2, and Lower Decks 4. And now here we are. Disco's over. Lower Decks is over. Starfleet Academy is still on the rise. I just remembered the Doctor is going to be in that because I made a joke about the Accord, saying I'd want to rearrange it to have it be a Robert Picardo tribute. We also possibly want to talk about the Doctor stuff that's been going on in the news, because there's a lot.
You mean Dr. Odyssey? I agree.
Well, there's a lot to unpack with Dr. Odyssey.
There's going to be a doctor on Star Trek. There's going to be a doctor in your Star Trek, not the Doctor. I got really excited for you.
There was a character in the 1990s Star Trek that they named after the Doctor from Doctor Who because they thought it was never coming back to television.
Same.
So that was a tribute. And now that's just a thing that happened. But we can unpack all sort of nerdy things like that all summer, gay things all summer, lots of fun stuff. And you can find me celebrating those things over on the socials, which is, there we go, there's the right one, at KEVO Really. That's KEVO REALLY. Love gay, love nerd.
Yes.
If this were a deep cave spelunking expedition, I would trust the gentleman next to me to pick out my canary. And I, beyond loving you, thinking that you're just the coolest and smartest guy in the world, you just have to deal with that. That's your problem. I would love to know what girl you would switch in and out of this bracket. What girl would you pull the fuck out of the Pink Ladies, and what bitch would you put in?
I can pick anybody to put in, or it's somebody from
Orange and Purple.
Any. I would never limit his creativity. This man knows how to choke you in ways you've never experienced. So
okay, Mistress is definitely out.
Who drove Nico home today?
Mistress is out, and I want to put in. The
music's still impatient. I should write more relaxed songs.
I mean, from these, I would put in Irene, because just always that's a good answer.
Yeah, I completely agree with. No, I want to go. Yeah, I put in Kimchi.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. I pull out Mistress. I put in Kimchi. There you go. There it is. Yeah. And
big girls for the win.
For the win, come on.
There you go.
Petite, tiny ladies who are nothing but kind for this show only.
They're also great. They're great. Sure. Yeah.
Just great. Just let them have it. Talk to me about this and so many other things at TK Accidental on all your socials. Nico, I didn't think long enough to come up with a question to ask you.
No, I mean, I like give my opinion on all of these things as I'm asking you guys the questions. I don't need to answer anything else. You guys getting to be here is me getting to be here with you guys like getting to give me this opportunity to talk. It means so much, and I don't have anything more to share. You guys can find me at Nico Action, NICOACTION. You guys can check out the background music and more at Nico Action Music, NICOACTION MUSIC. Don't forget to check the show out on all of our socials. We have recently relaunched to be X's for Show and X's for Podcast as our super banners. Check out our comics coverage at X's for Comics, as well as the feeds of this show in podcast form, like HTML. That's Husbands Talking, more or less. But, we would love it if you guys liked, comment, and subscribed. It was so amazing getting to meet Mary Duda in the comments today. Thank you so much for joining. As always, Andrew, you are rotted but spectacular and beautiful. And to everybody, please like, comment, and subscribe so we know what's up, so we know what you guys want us to cover. We want to provide you guys exactly the art you're looking for. But then there's 3 other things you guys should do, but those things are for us. You guys should definitely, number 1, please stay safe. It's a crazy world out there. But number 2, be brave, because we love who you are. Speaking of who you are, number 3, please evolve daily. Who you were yesterday, incredible. Who you are today, that is amazing. But it's who you are tomorrow that we can't wait to see. And we want to give one more big thanks to the unbelievable city of Philadelphia for hosting the most unbelievable Pride that I have ever been to. I don't remember the last time I felt that excited to be gay in public. But I feel renewedly homosexual, and I want to thank Pride and Philadelphia and Rue fucking Paul for making me that gay, and also for letting Chapelle Roan and arguably larger gay icon be on the show this week. So until next time, I'll see you.